Hi guys, Tom Abercrombie from the Tall Blacks here. I bet you didn't know, but the TAB are big funders of basketball in New Zealand, and Mark's here with a cool new offer.
Yeah, it is pretty exciting for basketball fans out there. If you haven't got a TAB account, download the app and use the promo code BBALL20. Do a $20 deposit, we'll match it, so your balance will be 40 plus we give Basketball New Zealand $20 as well. It's a pretty good offer.
So if a new customer signs up, they get a $20 bonus, plus Basketball New Zealand gets $20 as well.
That's right, Alex, it's a pretty good deal. Do remember, BBALL20 in the promo code when you download the app and put in an account. Enjoy it, have fun, basketball's a great game.
Okay, I'm here with Tim McTamney, coach of the Go Media Jets. On Sunday, the imports seemed to struggle a little bit just getting off.
Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm Kent Murray and we have Darren Larson here helping me with the commentary. Thank you for joining us for the next game of the Sal's NBL. We're excited to be able to bring to you the Go Media Jets versus the Taylor Hawks, here live from Fly Palmy Arena in Palmerston North. Well, Darren, it's going to be quite interesting. It's really a battle of the coaches. We've got Tim McTamney coaching the Go Media Jets. We've also got Zico Coronel coaching the Taylor Hawks, and I believe these two coached together for a while at the Jets quite a few years back, and I don't know which one would call the master, which one the student. I'm pretty sure they're about the same these days, and it's going to be an interesting battle.
Yeah, I think these guys got together in Hamilton, in fact. When Tim was up there coaching Hamilton, came back and coached together with the Jets. And yeah, the master and the protege. So Zico was the assistant coach for Tim back then, and obviously very well known for his work, both with Pero Cameron and Kevin Braswell at the Saints. Known as a very analytical guy and loves his stats and is very, very good with his video scouting reports, etc., etc. And now he's getting his chance as a head coach.
Yes, and Taylor Hawks had a great game of versus SIT Zero Fees Southland in their first game, and came away with a very good win, considering Southland a very strong team, some New Zealand players, and are potential favourites for the league.
Yeah, I think they were picked second, so the Taylor Hawks will be very pleased with their first up game. And I know starting the season with Jared Kenny coming back, they wanted to try and rest his legs a little bit, give him a little bit of time off, but saw the opportunity to really take a big win, and he obviously had a good game along with Dion Prewster, who was the MVP of the game.
And then, of course, last Sunday we had the Go Media Jets versus the Augusta Mountaineers, and the Mountaineers came out with a win. The Jets, they showed some promise. Obviously, when we mentioned before, they've got a very, very young team. They've been away from the league for a couple of years, and it was notable that the imports were a bit rusty. Most of them had only just arrived in Palmerston North or in New Zealand, and looked a bit tired.
Yeah, I mean, as we talked about last time, the blitz was a very promising look for the young kids in the Jets, and I think maybe just a little bit of stage fright in the first game when it actually meant something sort of gave a few of them a little bit of shy legs, and the imports coming in off the plane and legs were heavy. So, yeah, not a great shooting performance for them. I think they went 9 of 40 as 3 imports, but as you said, coming off a plane is an easy task, but they definitely showed signs of what they can do and hopefully help these young kids and support them as they're going through their development stage.
Cool. Darren actually went down a little bit earlier and had an interview and had a few words with the coach for the Go Media Jets, Tim McTamney.
Okay, I'm here with Tim McTamney, coach of the Go Media Jets. On Sunday, the imports seemed to struggle a little bit just getting off the plane, which is kind of understandable. How have they fitted in during the weekend, and what's your game plan for tonight?
Yeah, I think a bit of time's helped. They seem much happier. They seem able to go for much longer periods of time, and I think we need them to. So, no, they've settled in well. They're doing fine.
Awesome. And you're a community-based team. How's the feeling in the community having the team back in the league?
I think it's really positive so far. We've had a lot of feedback that they're impressed that we're using so many young players and giving them opportunities to play. We want to keep doing that. That's the only way they're going to be ready to play in future years. And we're just trying to build a base, so that we can use that in, next season and the season beyond. Community feeling's great. They're really pleased with what we're trying to do.
Awesome, great to have the team back. Good luck for tonight.
Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it.
Unfortunately, Zeko Coronel was unavailable for an interview. Obviously, he had some more serious things to talk about with his team. Obviously, a bit worried about the Go Media Jets. However, we'll look at the teams now. At the moment, we don't have the starting five for the Hawks, but their team is Nick Fee, number 3, Everard Bartlett, number 5, Gerard Kinney, number 6, number 12, Ethan Rusbach, sorry Ethan, number 13, Dion Brewster, number 20, Oscar Foreman, number 21, Angus Brandt, number 22, Hiram Harris, number 35, Mitch Newton, number 42, Kareem Johnson, and number 19, Dominic McGovern. And they've got a new player this week. He actually flew in yesterday, I believe, and that's number 44, Jamie Skeen, and he looks like a very big unit. He's from North Carolina. He went to college at Virginia Commonwealth University, and just recently we've been playing in Finland. So another, I'm assuming, welcome addition to the Hawks team.
It'd be interesting to know if he played for Shaka Smart, the well-known college coach who's now at Texas, so whether he was there at the same time. VCU, beautiful campus, great facilities. Obviously, he would have been well coached being there, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table for the Taylor Hawks.
Yes, and since he has just arrived yesterday, he doesn't look too bad. He looks reasonably refreshed. We'll see how his energy is for today's game, and like a lot of new imports, see how well he copes with the refereeing style of New Zealand, because a lot of imports usually come in and get into foul trouble early, just trying to get used to how physical or not they can play.
Right, the Jet supporters were probably hoping that his legs were just as jelly-like as our inputs were last week.
Definitely. Right, now we'll go to the team list for the Go Media Jets. Number 5, Big Ben Valentine. Number 55, Matt Connell. Now, Matt's originally from New Plymouth. He's here at Massey University, so he's on the team list this week, point guard. Number 21, Jake McKinley, the young fella still at high school. Number 11, Oscar Oswald. Number 22, Hayes Walker. Number 12, Deshaun Knight. Number 24, Brandon Lucas. Number 14, Rangimarie Mita. Number 7, Theo Johnson. Number 15, Daryl Jones. Number 23, Callum McRae. And number 33, Karan Iverson. So this week, slightly different starting 5. Big Ben Valentine will start, as well as Jake McKinley, the young fella, Deshaun Knight, the point guard, Brandon Lucas, and Karan Iverson. So it looks like they've got a bit more experience in terms of a bit older and playing in semi-professional basketball. So should be interesting to see how the Jets go. A good run out or hit out the first. Obviously looked inexperienced, played inexperienced, and hopefully a few more players can step up this week.
Yeah, maybe Tim's thinking about giving those guys a little bit of time, sitting on the bench, trying to see the pace of the game and come in and inject themselves with a bit more confidence what they did for the starting lineup. So yeah, pleasing to see how they come off the bench, and obviously looking forward to seeing that starting group have a good start.
Yeah, and as you said, confidence, and I'd like to see Hayes Walker to get a chance. He played very well at the Blitz, and yes, he's playing the point guard, and probably because Deshaun Knight started off so well, that limited his minutes last week. But he actually managed to play a couple of minutes with Deshaun, and that might be an option for Coach McTamney. But the other one that I'd like to see is Oscar Oswald. I know he's potentially a very good shooter. He did get a couple of shots up, just missed, and once again, maybe nerves, confidence, playing in this basically men's league where these guys are pretty much boys, soon to be men. just getting used to that style and, you know, the big bodies, because they're going to need to do that, because two things that they needed to work on was their rebounding, especially down the defensive end, and then transition defense.
Yeah, well, you should know that, Ken. I think you played when you were in high school, weren't you? So you know how most of these kids would be feeling, and we just haven't really had a kid come out of high school in Palmy but for the last 20 odd years, since the old Jonathan Southey and Brendan Polyblank, to actually go straight into the league and actually contribute. So it's been a bit of a drought with the skill development of our kids, and it's awesome to see that these young kids now are putting their hand up and getting a chance to do it.
Yeah, totally. It's when I first started, I didn't start. I was on the bench, and I was very lucky. I had legends Stan Hill, Willie Burton, Tyrone Brown, the Stenhouse brothers, and they all helped me to, you know, just fit in, slowly come into the team, and they were all great passers. So if I was left by myself, they'd give me the ball and I could just shoot it. Whereas we're expecting these youngsters to do a lot more, and you know, there's a couple of them starting, and they're going to probably have to try and produce straight away within their careers. Great opportunity, but very tough, and I think that's the biggest thing, is having that experience. And you know, most of the teams, especially this Taylor Hawks team, you know, they've got New Zealand players, ex-New Zealand players, age group players, and you know, that experience is just huge when playing.
Yeah, well, even like you're saying, just the practice times when you were first joined the team must have been intense with those guys pushing you, and we're kind of in that sort of stage of kids where that's I want it now rather than to earn it. So we're giving these kids the opportunity to do it now, so hopefully they take it with both hands and run with it.
Right, as I mentioned before, we don't actually have the official starting five for the Taylor Hawks, and so we'll be waiting for that call coming out soon. But one of those players in that team, I believe he's the captain, Dion Prewster. Now, you've coached him before, many years ago.
Yeah, 2005 with the under-16 New Zealand team, where we won the under-16 state champs, or Australian Junior Country Cup in Albury, Wodonga, which is one of the competitions that we always used to send our teams to. Pretty good team, actually, with the likes of Brooke Rusco, Richie Edwards, Rob Lowe. So quite a good team. So yeah, Dion's a well-travelled player now, most of the time with the Saints, a few times with Nelson, and this might be a second stint with Hawke's Bay, so hope to see him do well.
But not too well.
No, not too well.
Right, we're just about to start. It looks like Jared Kenny, Oscar Foreman, Brent.
Angus Brent, Ethan Ruspatch and Dion Prewster.
Yeah, to start for the Hawks, as there was a bit of a muck up there, and it'll be Hawks ball at halfway after 2 seconds. Right, Jared Kenny's going to get his troop started. Let's see if they get into a bit of an offence to start off with. As Prewster gets down off a lovely handoff and gets a very simple layup. They're going to need a bit better communication, the Jets, if they want to stop that particular offence.
Again, Kent, we see the throw and go that we talked about last week being a bit popular.
As Iverson misses his first three, the tall American import for Go Media Jets. Right, you can already see that the Hawks are very comfortable in their offence, but very good shot by Brandt, but well defended by Ben Valentine, a miss there. Actually, it was all good, but I think he just should have made his move a bit quicker or passed it out just to get a bit flow, but I think he just decided in the end to have a crack at him, but Ben was up to the task. This is a handoff to McKinley. Iverson gets to Deshaun Knight, who attacks it, and we have an illegal screen.
Yeah, just a little hip check there on the screen by Iverson.
Still trying to get into their offence. You know, these silly mistakes. Hopefully it's only early on. You'd rather them be doing it now than near the end of the game, but it's 2-0 to the Hawks. As they move the ball around, they're wanting to go into Brandt. They see possible mismatch and help by Iverson, which was enough to put him off.
Good D, Benny.
And Brandon Lucas brings the ball up, gets it to Deshaun Knight. Just a bit of trick, shooting that three. Very lucky to get a rebound out of that one, a deep rebound. What I'd like to see, even though I know both styles with Zico and McTamaney, well, very athletic play, but probably try to do a bit too much by Iverson and misses the layup. As I was saying before, is rather than set up for three, just to probably get an easy layup or a closer shot, just to get the team just settled. Once again, they're going to Brant. They see there's think that there's a big mismatch in there or a weakness, and he misses again as Brandon Lucas looks to attack and does a little Euro step, gets fouled, and will go to the line for two.
Yeah, I think they're just the wrong kinds of threes, Kent. There's a lot of sort of single dribbling and, you know, like yo-yo dribbling and pulling up threes with people, or contested threes where, you know, if you can get into the paint and have a good kick out, that's a good three to take, especially early. But, you know, some of these threes not so good.
Yeah, I've just been old school myself. I'd like to, you know, especially early on in the game, to run an offense, try and get everyone a bit of a touch, whether it be a catch or pass, just so everyone gets part and feels part of the game, and then look for your shot, you know, after about anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds or thereabouts. You know, because sometimes it's hard, especially, you know, there's players out there that may not have touched the ball on offense, and it's been 2 or 3 minutes and the game's gone. So it's all tied up.
Yeah, here we go. Another touch for Brant in the high post this time.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised they haven't gone to that. Oh, very nice pass by Raspuch to
Angus Brant slicing down the middle again.
And he gets fouled and will shoot two.
And that's 2 on Iverson, is it? So he might have to have an early seat.
Yep, and he got into foul trouble in that first game too. So, but over enthusiastic.
Yeah, I mean, give him credit for trying to stop the easy layup, but maybe, you know, contest it without fouling and gets to stay on the floor.
Well, it certainly looks, Hawks look a bit more effective when they're doing the handoffs or the pick and roll and then diving to the hoop. Certainly looked a bit more dangerous than just throwing it in for a post-up. And these days, the way teams are playing, just that simple, throw it into the post, and you know, less effective. And teams and players are not practicing as much as big Callum McRae tried to post up, and well defended by Brant to stop that and got a steal.
Yeah, good idea for the to get him into the post to Callum, but he wasn't really set. Pass was probably a little too early.
And the angle wasn't the best either.
No.
A dribble out to the 45 would have made that better, as Jared Kenny masters his troops, get a nice pass to Raspuch, and he nails the three and takes the score out to 7-2. Well, a little bit of double team action. It's handy Oscar Foreman just helping out his guard there, Jared Kenny, just to slow down the fast break of the Jets. As Deshaun Knight comes off pick and roll, passes to Big Ben Valentine, who can shoot the three, ends up a bit short. The ball goes out of bounds, and the Taylor Hawks will just slow it down and get set to run another offense.
Yeah, both offenses don't look the greatest. Hawks have had probably 2 or 3 possessions which has been good. The high post catches for Brant, both of them actually, were good, but then they tried to ISO him in the post against Big Ben Valentine, which really didn't come to fruition.
Right, Jamie Skeens come in, the Hawks' new import, number 44. It's an early touch just to get the ball. Here he is, got the ball in the wing, he shoots it straight away. And his first touch goes down for a big three. Very happy in my team for that. And as we saw the Hawks bench, just immediately the whole team got up, knowing that that was his first shot and score a big three. You know, for a big guy who can shoot the three, he's going to be a very dangerous player. Right, Jake McKinley attack it, and he goes in, hard angle shot, and misses. It's good to see him though attack and play with a bit more confidence. As the score is 10-2, another slow start for the Jets, and struggling to get a score. Right, there's a bit of a mismatch there, Brandon Lucas against Brand. Skeen, now he's driving to the hoop, takes it from there. Big 7-foot Cal McRae was able to change his shot, missed the layup, and the Jets get the ball back. Here's this full court pressure. Someone from the Jets might have to come and help here. This Knight can use his speed. Ball gets to Lucas. Well, real good steal by Skeen, and he goes up for a simple layup. to extend.
Yeah, I don't like that, Kent, where we lose the ball, we steal the ball, or have the ball stolen from us and we stop. You know, like you made a mistake, okay, get back, try and put some pressure on the rim.
Or just show the effort to get back as well. Right, and Mark pulls up for a jumper and misses. And at the moment, the Jets are struggling to find an offence that gives them an open shot or a more free shot. As the Hawks get straight into their offence. Oh, what potentially could have been a great pass, and the refs have called a football. It's one of those 50-50 calls where, was it a kick or did they just throw it off his foot?
Yeah, I think he might have slightly stuck it out.
Knowing Ben, he probably did.
Saying that he didn't, so good on the bench.
Right, Coach Tim McTamney has called probably a much-needed timeout to settle his troops down and hopefully change their offence a little bit just to get them going and get them settled to try and get a score or two.
Yeah, let's hope to come up with a little bit of ball movement, like you say, get through some hands and maybe get into the paint, have an in and out or an easy shot at the rim there instead of just some yo-yo dribbling and some pull up with the hand.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this game goes. This is the classic time with a 10-point lead. The Hawks probably feeling comfortable. They know they should beat the Jets, and they come out. Sometimes they can come out a bit casual and give the opportunity to the Jets to get back in and build some confidence, or will they come back out, keep up the full court pressure, deal with that, and then try and really go and try and run away with it. Those are always a bit of a battle for a coach to do and to sort out and trying to deal with.
Yeah, I think they'll keep that pressure on. I mean, they're going to do their style. They should be not thinking about what really the Jets are doing. They want to play their game plan, which obviously looks like they're putting pressure on 94 feet, rotate their subs through and work on their combinations. But yeah, not a great start for them either. 12 points in 5 minutes.
Right, we've had a couple of subs. I think Kareem Johnson is out there and Hiram Harris running their play. Harris with the ball now. That's got a big 7-footer on, another switchback. And for the Jets, Theo Johnson coming back in and a nice attacking layup for Kareem Johnson. Right, here's this full court pressure. Probably just clear out now and let it go one-on-one and see Deshaun Knight just much better once you get in the point guard's hand. Oh, he's got the big 7-footer free, but he missed him. Theo Johnson attacks. And got bumped just as he went up.
Yeah, I was impressed with Theo last week and throughout the blitz, so another one that doesn't look like he's too worried about the step up in competition.
Yes, well, he's, as we said last weekend, he's from Wellington originally. He's been on the Saints roster, but usually the Saints have a pretty star-studded team and roster, so very hard for him to get out on the court and get some minutes. So he's come up to Palmerston to apply his trade and get a chance.
Yeah, but all those days in practice would have helped him here too, so he'd probably come here with a lot of confidence and looks to have a very nice shot, very athletic, rebounds the ball very well. So let's get to see more of him today and see what he can do.
Right, it's a 10-point lead. They've gone straight to Skeen in the post, but Ben Valentine's having to deal with them. Did a good job. Pass out for a nice 3 for Dion Prewster.
Yeah, Dion has worked hard on his 3-point shot. Was not a strength of his when he was a younger kid, so obviously a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work-ons for him.
Hayes Walker, lefty, attack there, tried to look for, oh, that was a clothesline, head-high tackle. He could have been in the sin bin for that one.
Yeah, that might be a good thing for Hayes, get a slap around the chops. That used to annoy me and get me all fired up. I don't know how it made you feel, but some people play good when they're a little bit angry. Yeah,
when someone hit me in the face, I'd get sore. But yeah, it could just knock a bit of sense into you, just could focus you, different for different people. Oh, it's Deshaun Knight does a nice little step out jumper, takes the score to 17-6. And here come the Hawks just setting it down. Well, it's been a bit of a surprise, really. I would have Hawks to push it and do a bit more fast break, but they're obviously looking to run their sets and doing a better job than the Jets at the moment. As Everard Bartlett's at the top of the key using the screen, and they've got a switch. They've got a big mismatch, but Callum McRae, the 7-footer's managed to switch back on him There's a bit of a forced shot, but a great shot by Dion Prewster. And he's just lovely jumper, fade away, and nails it. That's a class act of the young guy.
So that's two really good positions there, Kent, for Deshaun. He used the screen really well, gave a little hesitation, put the help or the mush back on his heels and was able to pull up semi-uncontested.
Yeah, obviously that mush, they were staying a bit deep on it, and it's giving him the chance to shoot his jump shot. Another switch there, and getting a few mismatches. Hiram Harris attacks it, misses, and as we're bringing the ball up, here comes Hayes Walker. We've got sort of 2-point guards there, gets it to Deshaun Knight, waiting for the pick and roll. Here we go, he's going for the three. They've stayed low. He's not quite found that range for the three. It's been more around the 15 to 17-foot jump shot. If he nailed that, it would have gotten him into a bit of a roll, and Kareem Johnson's just made a basic mistake, as it can happen sometimes. Went a bit early, bounced it on his leg, and went out of bounds.
Yeah, Deshaun probably had another sort of mid-range pull-up at the free throw line on that last position, but decided to step back and take a three. Might have been better off going with what was working for him.
Right, checked into the game is Nick Fee, number 3 for the Hawks. I like Nick because he's a Palmerston North born and bred. He then left high school, went to Hamilton, made the 3-on-3 New Zealand team there for a year, and now is working and playing for the Hawks. And it's great to see him out there. Now, Nick is a bit of a speedster, very quick. And I know he loves to play defence, and he loves to annoy other players when he is playing that defence.
Yeah, good to see the young fella getting a chance and working up with Basketball Hawke's Bay now and joining the Hawks squad.
Nice screen there, but it's called illegal, I believe, on Ruspatch.
Maybe gave him a little bit of an elbow as he ran past.
Right, it's good, consistent calling from the refs. They've called one on the Go Media Jets, and now the same thing happens for the Taylor Hawks. Right, we've got the young guys in now. Ooh, this is a very young team, and all the imports are off. Hayes Walker. Now I'm guessing here you can already see that the young guys who've been at practice a lot longer are actually running their offense a lot better, as Hayes Walker gets it to the big guy, shoots the three that he's been working on. Oh, just about made that one, but it looks a bit more flow, and this game's going to pick up because I know the Hawks are going to see these young guys and they're going to attack the hoop. As Callum McRae, 7-footer, the young guy just out of high school, marking Kareem Johnson, as Newton nails the three. Now, I know in the last game against Southland, Newton actually nailed quite a few threes and played very well. Callum McRae, probably wisely after missing that last three, turns that down as Mita attacks it. Let's see if Theo Johnson gets a chance. Got the ball in McKinley, attacks it. Now he's very athletic.
Yes,
and
very nice move. Great ball movement.
Great to see the 17-year-old score an easy layup there. But yeah, looking a lot better, the offense, isn't it?
Yeah, just like attack, kick out, attack, kick out. Great. You know, I think everybody might have touched the ball there except for Rangin Mardier. So yeah, great position for the Jets.
Right, interesting now. It's a 12-point game to the Hawks. They've taken Hayes Walker out, put Deshaun Knight back on. Let's hope he can continue that. Oh, it looked like a little shuffle treble, did it? And let's see if we can get the offense running and flowing like we have been just before. Attacks, he did have McKinley in the corner, misses the jump shot. Oh, and they're off in the fast break. As the ball gets to Everett Bartlett, he misses the layup. McKinley gets there, but the Hawks are there in numbers. Jets need to get back, and they settle it down. Oh, Nick Fee in the corner, wide open. Another offensive rebound. This has been a bit of a weakness in the last game for the Jets. They're going to have to put a body on and actually fight for those rebounds.
Yeah, they were actually the ones in the first half against Taranaki that did the offensive rebounding, and then the second half it switched, and now, like you say, it looks like it's continuing.
And Newton just nails the second three. Is automatic. As Mita, lovely move, but just misses the layup. And here's the transition, and an easy layup for Hiram Harrison. It gets a bit more exciting, but if the Jets aren't scoring, this is where it blows out. And the score after the first quarter is 27-10, and even though the Jets try to speed that game up, they've got punished from doing the misses and not getting back quick enough on defence.
Yeah, so two things that we talked about in the second half of last game. transition defence and that O rebounding. So I think it was with 5 minutes gone, they'd only scored 12 and then they jumped 15 on it. So now a very respectable 27 in the first quarter.
Yeah, and most of that just done by the Hawks bench, just showing their strength and their depth. Newton hitting 2 threes, 2 from 2, and then just quick outlets from the rebounds, and then a couple of layups, and that just balloons out to a bigger score. Right, actually on our clock we've just lost the score, and hopefully the score
27-10. So I think one of the things we talked about, Kent, the ball was starting to move a little bit better, and then Hayes got pulled out, and the very next shot was a contested pull-up by Deshaun, and then they were off to the races and got a couple easy points.
Yeah, and it's for me it was good when none of the imports were out there. They ran their offense. They got a couple of points, a couple of shots in, and it's just, you know, especially this Go Media Jets team is integrating these imports into the team culture, what they're trying to do, rather than being a bit, probably I'd consider it a bit greedy. Deshaun Knight probably taking a few extra shots that he didn't need to, where he can attack, kick it out to the corners, and have the trust in these other guys to nail the three, or fake the three and attack the hole. So hopefully we can see a bit better offensive effort by the Jets in the next quarter, as they've had a couple of subs, as Karan Iverson joins back for the second quarter on 2 fouls. I know if he'll pick up a 3, that'll be him for the rest of the half, and see how they go.
Yeah, well, I liked the signs there by Duncan Mardia and Jake McKinley, both being a little bit more aggressive, and Theo Johnson, for that matter, going to the basket. Even though they've missed a couple of layups, it's shown their intent of trying to get there and be a bit more aggressive and assertive than what they were against the Augusta Mountaineers last week.
Yeah, and I just hope they don't get despondent and they keep doing it, because they were great moves, getting to the hole, just they didn't finish off. And once again, partly confidence. You know, they're probably expecting some big guy to knock them down or block it, and it's, once you take that out of your mind and just focus on what you're doing, if you get blocked, you get blocked. But just go up for that layup and make sure you make it. And the only way it won't go in is if someone does block it. But you can't control that. Right, we have... it's gone back to the Hawks. So I'm just trying to think. There was a violation at the start of the game, which went straight to the Hawks. So I would have thought it was the Go Media Jets ball.
Did we have a jump ball at some stage?
Well, we had the jump ball at the start of the game.
Or tie ball?
And then there was a violation and Hawks got it. So I assume they take possession, and then the Go Media Jets should have started off in this quarter. But I'm sure that's what the referees are trying to sort out right now, because I'll tell you what, Coach Tim McTamney's telling them about it.
Well, referee Sean Cronin saying that's my fault. Yeah, you like to see the referees own their mistakes, don't you, Kent?
Especially when I'm right.
Doesn't happen very often, as far as them admitting that they made mistakes.
No,
but good refereeing and good chatting with the school bench and coming up with the right call.
Yeah, and obviously they had time to sort that out. Right, as Jake McKinley passes to Deshaun Knight to get the game started for the second quarter. Playing against a star-studded Taylor Hawks team. Right, already on as Mita attacks the hoop. Gets put off by Nick Fee. And the Hawks pushing it down, getting an early pick and roll. Lovely pass to Brandt, who gets a pass out to the corner, but he was just put off, a bit off balance and almost going out of bounds, and so he couldn't get the ball to Nick Fee, who would have had an open 3 in the corner there. Right, here comes this full court pressure once again. This will be interesting. Karan Iverson bringing the ball up, so that could be a ploy to let the big fella bring it up. I know he can. They're actually sagging off him and letting him shoot that, and waiting for him to make any, and he has. So it'll be interesting to see if Brandt now comes out and tries to respect the shot. And he might have to wait for one more.
Unless he gets a foul here, because I'm sure they would have targeted him having his, there you go, his second foul. And
third
obviously
now.
going straight in at Angus Brandt, trying to commit that, or produce that third foul, which they did immediately. I don't know if he was sagging back, Ken. I don't know if he had the confidence in his defensive ability to stay in front of Iverson there, because he for a big guy, he's got pretty decent handles and can take some people off the dribble.
Yeah. Interesting there. I thought Iverson, knowing he had 2 fouls, did a bit more of the matador defence, and I think Brandt was expecting some contact and then just sort of fell over. Love to have seen a replay on that, but unfortunately we don't have that, as Russ Batch makes a great athletic move to the middle, but misses with the left hand. As there, Johnson's looking to attack, finds the handoff for Deshaun Knight, who nails the 3 and gets the Jets back within 12.
I don't mind that shot. He stepped into that 3 with a little bit of rhythm, so it wasn't a step back or a movement or a yo-yo dribble 3.
Yeah, and it was part of the offence, their fast break offence, rather than just dribble, as Brandt seals big Callum McRae in there and just gets a nice, easy layup. Deshaun Knight's looking to attack it. That's the better. I love that. Attacking, kicking the ball to the corner. McKinlay, who can shoot that shot, missed it, but needs to get back a lot quicker. And the big 7-footer Callum McRae got back. Probably a good foul. Apologises probably because it was a hard foul. Young fella needs to learn not to apologise to the old players.
Yeah, no, good shot for Jake. Again, hope he doesn't get despondent with that miss and keep shooting. Maybe next time put a shot fake in if he has time or if he's been closed out too much.
Russ Batch makes the first. And makes the second. Right, the Hawks aren't letting up on this pressure, that's for sure.
Yeah, one of the key things with that is to make sure that when obviously a basket's scored, it's for our guys not to hang our heads and get the ball in quickly and negate that pressure.
Big Ben Valentine, in out. Unfortunate, that's probably his only option at this stage, is to look for that 3, as Brandt once again just runs straight down the middle, and I think McRae was a bit unsure of how to mark that, to be in front, behind. Probably got caught on just a bit of speed, and Brandt getting that position, and he gets the easy attempted layup, but McRae fouled him.
Yeah, I dare say Callum probably hasn't come across anyone his size for quite a while playing in the high school league.
Well, yes, his size, his strength, and the mobility of the big guys these days.
Yeah, but I mean that's what this is all about, right? For Callum and all the young guys that are on the boys' high squads and getting that experience of playing against these guys that are better than them.
Most definitely, as Callum McRae does come out of the game, and the experienced veteran Daryl Jones checks in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the matchup now, whether Daryl takes Brandt or Big Benny Valentine goes on to him. Obviously, Callum wasn't going to switch out because he would have had to guard Oscar Foreman, who we all know likes to shoot the 3. So we'll see the matchup.
I'm going to guess that Valentine will take Brandt and Daryl Jones will take on Oscar Foreman. And handy to have another guy who can bring the ball up against this pressure of the Hawks. Oh, nice little action for trapping.
Yeah, well
pass
done.
inside, and Big Ben Valentine for 2. The old fella can still score.
Yeah, no, good decision there by Jake. Great pass. Had the little trap there and got rid of the ball quick.
Right, Brandt in the post. He bangs down Ben Valentine, who did a good job of just holding his ground, and that's all he could really do. There's a trap there straight away. We need to get a bit more movement up there. This could actually work in the Jets' favour, is just this pressure. If they can get up, release it, and then have the opportunity to attack the hoop. Step back from Deshaun Knight. As Nick Fee sort of got the rebound, got hacked out of him, and the Hawks are off on the fast break here with Jared Kenny making a nice move. Oh, what a pass. And another pass by Nick Fee, and unfortunately Brandt just couldn't tip it in as the Jets come back the other way. Great defense by Nick Fee on Deshaun Knight. Hits it out to McKinlay, who misses the 3. And the Hawks settle it down. We've got just over 6.5 minutes to go in this second quarter as Oscar Foreman. We know he can shoot that and misses. Jets a bit lucky on the few tip rebounds here. They're able to pick it up. Deshaun Knight turns away the pick and roll, gets it out to Brandon Lucas, who shoots the 3 and misses. You just need a couple of guys to hit a couple of threes to get them going as Russ Batch attacks the hoop and makes an easy layup.
We're just watching Daryl Jones run up the court. He doesn't look overly comfortable. Whether he's got a calf injury or something, I don't know.
Lucas attacks the hoop, misses, finds his own rebound and then scores. That's the first sort of fast break the Go Media Jets have got as the Taylor Hawks are still in a comfortable lead. Settling it down, just running through the motions. Russ Batch gets the ball into the post spot to Brandt, who attacks Ben Valentine. Ben does a great job, lovely move, lovely left hand jump hook, and scores 2.
Yeah, very good patience there in the post by Brandt. Obviously getting to his spot, taking his time and just making Big Benny Valentine make a decision and then counter it.
McKinlay this time attacks. He's missed his last couple of threes. He's going to have to protect that ball when he goes up. He might get away with it at high school, but certainly not here at this level.
I would like to see Ben exit the post there as Jake drove, give him a little bit more of a driving lane, and obviously if Benny's man stayed, he'd be able to find Benny for a short little jump hook.
Brendan Lucas comes off the set play out of the out of bounds and nails the jumper. As the score is 38-21.
They're scoring a bit easier in this quarter. It's 11 points already for the Go Media Jets.
Right, as Everett Bartlett comes off pick and roll, looks for Skeen, who's keen to get involved again. He's had one 3-point shot made for the big fellas. 7-footer Callum McRae needs to be stronger and does get fouled. I don't know what the rule is. I'm a bit old and a bit past, but are you allowed to get the old elbows out these days and clear a few guys out?
No, like with all the softness around here, no. Keep the elbows in and protect the defensive players now, I think.
I know a fair few people when playing with Stan Hill and Willie Burton, when they got a rebound, nobody went near them because always the Hawks, Oscar Foreman showing great hustle on defense, getting his hands in there to put a bit of pressure on the Jets and almost came away with the steal as Deshaun Knight, fadeaway jumper, big Callum McRae, great to see him up there, goes for a jump hook, gets fouled and will go to the line for 2.
Good effort position there from Callum, got on the floor to help retrieve that partial steal and then gets his way to the offensive glass and gets to the foul line.
Yeah, it's good to see, you know, he's done a couple of pick and pops, shot the 3 missed, and this time the pick and dive and on the miss was there available to get that rebound. He's a big unit, that's for sure.
It's a long way to get down on the floor, isn't it? Not so far for me, but I'm sure it's a long way down there for Callum.
Right, Callum is actually a pretty good free throw shooter. He's got not a bad 15-foot jump shot, and he has been working on his 3-pointer as he misses the first.
Yeah, he reminds me of young Ollie Hill.
Oh, yes.
Both left-handed, both very big. Ollie was a great passer as well. Callum took his time in the post. Ollie was probably a bit better shooter at this stage of his career. As you said, Callum's working on that.
Right, as he checks out of the game and Big Ben Valentine comes back in. Right, Skeen's back in for the Hawks. Passes it to Nick Fee. Nick Fee's running the show. It's the pick and roll. One thing I like about Nick, he's not going to try and do too much. He's just going to run and thing. And it's, you know, how nice is it when you can just sort of get the ball worked for your team, and you got some star class players in there. A bit of a foul there by Ben Valentine from behind. The Jets are going to have to watch out for their big guys getting into foul trouble. As I'm just trying to see what number that was.
Benny Valentine, I think he's
That was his first foul.
I think he's like, what does he weigh, like 90 kilos? I don't know. But he seems to hold his ground. He might be a bit stronger than what he looks. Obviously not scared of a little contact, but yeah, he's probably given up a few kilos to Skeen there.
Yeah, part of that is your legs. You know, you might look a bit light up top, but if you can bend your legs, get your balance, and have strong legs. Just strong, but he bends down a bit. Right, a great trap right off the out of bounds. Great pass to Hayes Walker. Here's a chance for a fast break. First time to see Hayes attack. Did a lovely fake. Passed it to Ben Valentine. Ben stopped diving and just chase after the ball and get back. as the ball goes straight down to, Skeen misses his layup, and I think that's because he's only just arrived in the country. Normally that would be a dunk, I'm sure, or an easy layup, where the Jets are a bit lucky he missed that.
Nick Fee.
Strength as Deshaun Knight somehow gets the shot off with a help from Skeen, but is fouled in the process of shooting, and he will shoot too.
Yeah, I think good initial defence by Fee staying in front there on the crossover, but Deshaun just a little bit quick on the counter move, going back to the hoop, and a little hip check as he's trying to get to the lane.
Knight makes the first. Yeah, I think Knight's been trying a few times as he's going past players, because obviously defenders are taught, you move your legs, and if you might get away with a bit of a slight hip check, as long as you don't stick it out. And Knight's trying to let the refs know that, hang on, I'm getting fouled here, and gets a call there. Right, he knew he was missing that one, and somehow managed to get his own rebound. Just about had a turnover there with his pass as Hayes Walker gets his first look at a three, misses that. Well rebounded by Theo Johnson, which shame he didn't go up himself, as it gets out to Brandon Lucas, shoots for three, just hits the front of the rim, and Ethan Rusbach gets the rebound. Nick Fee's got the ball now, settles it down as the Hawks get into their offense.
Some similar stuff here from the Jet stuff with that UCLA cut into an on-ball screen. So obviously, like we talked about, master and protege, guys that coach together sometimes run the same actions.
Oh, it's not often we see Oscar Foreman miss two wide open three-pointers in a row. Brandon Lucas gets another go. He's hitting it short. And did he get fouled?
Yeah, I think Oscar missed a few in the first game against Southland too. So whether he's a little bit out of touch or just getting into the use to the speed of difference in speed, I should say, of the New Zealand NBL and the Australian NBL. Maybe he's got too much time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sometimes you're so wide open, you're not used to it. You go, oh yeah, just take that extra second, and then it takes you out of your normal shooting rhythm, and you miss it. Whereas Oscar's normally catch shoot with a hand in his face, and he usually nails those.
Yeah, you don't want to let him make one, because it could be like 6 or 7 just like that.
Yeah, right. Just going to some of the stats here tonight so far. We have Jake McKinley, 2 points. Brendan Lucas has got 6 points. Deshaun Knight for the Go Media Jets is on 8 points, being the main scorers, and the Taylor Hawks. Dion Brewster has got 7 points in 8 minutes. He hasn't played huge minutes so far this game. Ethan Rusbach has got 9 points. Angus Brand, big play inside so far this game, 9 points. And Mitchell Newton, who's only played almost 4 minutes, and has scored his 2 threes in the first quarter, and has got 6 points. Jamie Skeen, the new import, 5 points. So, just good, solid, all-round scoring. And I believe they had that against the Southland Sharks as well, where well over 5 players scored in the teens.
I think it was 7 of them. Interesting here, we're 7 minutes into the quarter and it's 13 apiece. If I remember correctly, it was 27-10 at quarter time. So I'm sure Coach McTamney is a bit happier with what they're doing, but I'm pretty sure Zico is probably not as happy with his team's performance this quarter.
Right, we see Oscar Oswald into the game for the first time. Hayes Walker's back in. I actually really like the way Hayes has been playing, and I'd like to see him get involved more as Deshaun Knight dribbles around and pulls up his jump shot from the elbow and nails it. And you get to a 15-point game, which the Jets probably wouldn't be too unhappy about, as Nick Fee gets his first chance for 3 and bricks it. But it is a hustle play from McGovern for the Hawks. Manages to tip it out to Skeen. And Everard Bartlett gets back into the fray off pick and roll. And Skeen in the post. Fade away. Yeah, lovely touch, that shot.
Yeah, very nice shot.
Not much Ben Valentine could do about that. And Oscar Oswald just managed to get his heel on the line as he attacks. Not a great start for him, and hopefully he just ignores that. Gets on with his confidence, because I know Oscar's can be a very good 3-point shooter, and he has started to develop attacking the rim play as well.
Yeah, very good on defence too. You know, deceptively long defensively, and protects the rim quite well when obviously you think you got him beat, and he sort of goes up another level and contests it.
Right, we're starting to see the class of Skeen there. A lovely pass to him, and gets a nice easy layup. Jet's going to need to do a bit more talking on, just try and stop that. It's Ben Valentine. Checks to his left, gets it back to Deshaun Knight, who attacks. There's a bit of a bump that they got away with. Attacks the hoop. Great pressure by Fee. Knight's wanting a foul, but doesn't get it. And the Hawks turn it over with very little pressure on them.
Yeah, the old 32-year-old legs there for Everard Bartlett. Couldn't quite get in front of that pass. I know, very, very athletic as a youngster. Won a dunk contest and excellent three-point shooter, but Nick Fee passed a little bit too far in front there for Easy E.
Right, here come the Jets. Deshaun Knight doing a few skips. Playing a bit of one-on-one stuff out there. I'd rather him get into the offensive stage as Theo Johnson attacks, and he's getting called for a travel. It did certainly look like one, whether he did or not, but just a little shuffle of the feet certainly gave the ref the chance to call that.
Yeah, I don't know if that is anymore, Kent, with that old zero step. I was with Brett Matahari down at the New Zealand camp, and talked a lot about how the zero step has changed the travel rules a lot.
Yeah, something that I still can't get around myself.
Basically, nothing's a travel anymore.
Oh, Theo tries to get a quick pass to Ben. Ben wasn't quite ready for it, not his forte, those short passes. And that's come off Oscar Foreman, and the ref saw that brilliantly and calls the out of bounds for the Go Media Jets.
Yeah, good idea there by Theo Johnson with Callum rolling to the basket. Probably just couldn't wrap it around Foreman enough to give the big fella a chance at a dunk going to the hoop.
Right, this play here as Deshaun Knight gets the ball. McRae's trying to figure out whether to give him some space. As Deshaun Knight just does a move and looks at the bench. Don't think the Hawks really care about that at this stage with the score, but if it gets Deshaun Knight going, all good for him. Lovely backdoor play and pass to Nick Fee as McGovern shoots a three, misses. Skeen grabs the offensive rebound, gets it out to Nick Fee, who splashes the three.
It's a better three for Nick Fee that he took that time, a little bit more time and space. I think the one before that was probably too contested.
Deshaun Knight, attacks it, tries to pass, gets it. Oh, he's out of bounds. And he finally makes a three as well. That's frustrating. And yep, he had his heel well and truly over the line. And Brandon Lucas, who finally makes a lovely three, it doesn't count, which can be very demoralising, especially when you're down by 19 points.
11 seconds to go here. Let's see what happens.
It's a chance for to see one of the Hawks' sort of last-second plays. Just get the ball to Everard Bartlett, double team. He's still going, a great steal. Oh, he's got the ball, he's got a chance for a shot. Oh, wide open Oscar. He's too open. And misses his third out there, which I'm shocked. I'm sure he's shocked as well.
Yeah, you don't often see Foreman miss three shots for sure.
Right, we'll just go through some stats so far. We've got the Taylor Hawks for 47 points, very big first half. Dion Brewster 7, Ethan Ruthbatch 9, Angus Brandt 9, Jamie Skeen 9, and Mitchell Newton 6. On the other side for the Jets, we have Deshaun Knight leading all scores with 13, and the next best is Brandon Lucas with 6 points.
You guys got me?
Right, we've now got Darren Larson
got me?
with looks like Jake McKinley down there, and he's going to ask him a question or two.
Okay, here with Jake McKinley. How do you think the first half gone? A little bit slow start. How are you guys feeling?
Good. I reckon we just need to push up the tempo a bit. We've been a bit slow, and yeah, just if we up the tempo, I reckon we can come back.
You look like you're getting quite a few open shots on the perimeter. You just need to maybe take your time a bit more and knock those threes down.
Yeah, I just got to have the confidence to shoot it and not hesitate when I catch it, because that little split second just puts your whole rhythm off. So I'm just working on that, trying to catch in rhythm.
Awesome. Good luck for the second half.
Yeah, thank you.
Angus, how you doing? A little bit of a slow start to the second quarter. What did Coach Zico say there in the timeout?
Oh, I think he just said, stay with our stuff. I think we might have maybe took the foot off the accelerator a little bit after, a pretty successful first quarter. So, 18 points in the second quarter after only giving up 10. We've got to make sure that we keep playing at the intensity that we want to play and the way that we want to play. We can't, let up just because, we're getting a bit of a lead. So we got to keep pushing.
Looked like you were a big focus at the start of the game there, trying to get some inside position. Was that part of the game plan, or did it just happen to come your way?
No, I think maybe a little bit of both. There's definitely talk about trying to get me the ball early, trying to get some presence inside. But I think it just got some good guards. And me and JK obviously have some good chemistry from playing together. So he was doing a great job of feeding me inside on the run, and also hitting Jamie and some of our other bigs.
So what do you think Coach Zico is going to say at halftime to go into the second half?
I think the biggest thing is, in the second quarter there, we gave up far too many offensive rebounds, so I'm sure that'll be top of the list of things to cut out. And other than that, just make sure you keep playing the way that we want to play, keep building, keep improving, and make sure we get out of here with a good win.
Awesome. Good luck.
Thanks.
Right. Thanks, Darren, and thank you. And right, it's halftime here at the Fly Palmy Arena. It is the Taylor Hawks 47 and the Go Media Jets 28. And right now we'll look at some highlights from last week. He hasn't really had much of a chance to play many minutes over there, so I think the move is a great athletic play. Didn't quite get the rebound. It's Big Ben Valentine gets an offensive rebound and scores the bucket.
It's 4 rebounds.
And
for
not
Theo
getting
already.
back on defense is a great play by Houston O'Reilly for the layup and the foul. Who hasn't had a great shooting day, gets the ball to Smith. Smith travelled there, a little stutter step, and Douglas with a great tip in for 2. And get down. Oh, great defensive deflection by Deshaun Knight, and Theo Johnson slams it home with a one hand. Smith exchanges a handoff with Burden. He's taking on the 7-footer and did a lot of dancing, and in your face, young fella, his style. Big Ben Valentine somehow gets in, does the hustle play, but unfortunately went to the ears. And Yavonte Douglas just goes in the offense, and there's the Theo Johnson. What I thought was going to be a dunk one way was brilliantly blocked. But once again, an offensive rebound by Douglas takes the jump, and then right as the Go Media Jets get set for their offense. Young hits a big 3. Knight does a lovely pass off to Theo Johnson.
There we go. Get up and transition.
And one. Yeah.
Get some players in front of the ball and get a good result.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a hard game.
No.
Welcome back to the Cells NBL, and we are here at half-time at Fly Palmy Arena in Palmerston North. We have a very, very classy Taylor Hawks leading 47 to the Go Media Jets at 28. And we're just seeing how good these Hawks are and what a potential they are or could be to, I know it's early in the season, but to be a finalist. What are your thoughts, Darren?
Yeah, I think for sure. They've definitely got the pieces. It's just how well they gel, and obviously they had a very good first up win, and obviously here looking pretty comfortable. So how the new guys fit in, Skeen fits in with what they're doing. Once they get comfortable with the other imports and playing with the guys from the regulars of the NBL, I think they definitely could be maybe a surprise, because I don't think they were picked incredibly highly at the start of the season, with obviously Saints and Southland being clear favourites.
Yeah, I think Coach Zico Coronel has done a great job of recruiting and support for them, who just arrived yesterday. Right, we're now going to head over, and we'll be back after a couple of messages.
There's a lot to be said about you Kiwis. You like breaking new ground? You're the best in your field? You stand up for what you believe in. But when it comes to pizza, you can't beat authenticity. Sal's, authentic New York pizza.
Hi guys, Tom Abercrombie from the Tall Blacks here. I bet you didn't know, but the TAB are big funders of basketball in New Zealand, and Mark's here with a cool new offer.
Yeah, it is pretty exciting for basketball fans out there. If you haven't got a TAB account, download the app and use the promo code BBALL20. Do a $20 deposit, we'll match it, so your balance will be 40 plus we give Basketball New Zealand $20 as well. Pretty good offer.
So if a new customer signs up, they get a $20 bonus, plus Basketball New Zealand gets $20 as well.
That's right, Alex, it's a pretty good deal. Do remember, BBALL20 in the promo code when you download the app and put in an account. Enjoy it, have fun, basketball's a great game.
Tukaha.
It means stand strong. To the great challenges we face. To stand strong with our brothers and sisters.
With our families and our communities.
With our supporters. With those who lift us up to take on the world.
It's the name of our haka. Tāringa whakarongo kia ora. Stand strong.
Stand with us.
Tukaha, New Zealand.
Welcome back to Fly Palmy Arena, and we've got an interesting sort of aspect for this next half. Really, the Taylor Hawks have got a comfortable lead. The Jets are struggling to score, and it'll be interesting to see how the Hawks come out for the second half. If you were coach, what would you be doing, Darren?
I think you've got to stick, like Angus said at halftime, I think they've got to stick with their systems and work on them. Not worry too much about the score and things like that, especially for this quarter. Once you get into the fourth quarter, you can really probably start looking at resting the players that you need to rest. But definitely trying to get, it's such a short season and it's such a short lead up that if you don't work on your combinations when you can, you go into the next game and somebody's a bit more prepared than you, then you can fall short. So I think the third quarter especially, they'll probably just stick with what the game plan was and then reassess that in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it certainly gives a team like the Hawks a chance to really play some of the other players who may not get on, in some of the bigger games. Later on during the season, the Hawks have already beaten Southland, which initially was a surprise, but maybe not so now, the class that they've shown and the ability they have, and get their, as you said, get the other players on, give some other players some rest and get those combinations working.
Yeah, I'd like to, it would be interesting to hear from Southland whether they went in completely prepared for that game and thinking maybe that they just had to play well and they'd be fine, and the Hawks obviously stepped up and became a game and gave them confidence, or whether they actually went in there full guns blazing and just didn't come out with a result, because they certainly came back a couple of nights later and beat a very good Wellington team.
Yeah, we certainly can't count Southland out, beating the Saints pretty much the day after, and it's one of those strange things. The teams played the Blitz. Not many teams had their full roster during the Blitz, and then it's always, you never know. Are you going to play well that first game? Southland were playing a double-header away, did well to get one against the Saints. Well, I would just like to take this opportunity to once again thank Cells Pizzas for sponsoring the league. Obviously, it's called the Cells NBL. We also like to thank the TAB for what they're doing, especially that you can, if you start a new account, you get $20 straight away to do some betting, and then some money also gets given to the teams, which is a very, very good sponsor for the league. And of course, all the balls are provided by our supplier, Molten, and they've been doing it for a fair few years, and they're a great sponsor as well. Right, this young Jets team struggling to score, struggling to get a bit of rhythm. I personally would like to see them, rather than be so point guard Deshaun Knight looking to score straight off and doing his dribbling, for him to set it up, get a few more players involved, and then see what eventuates, to see if we can get a few more open looks, and then the boys just need to feel confident shooting that three or attacking. But when they attack, they've got to attack hard. Doesn't matter if they get bumped or whatever, just attack hard and try and make that score for a layup or short jumper.
Yeah, I think if Deshaun really wants to score that much, he probably needs to move to the two, because if not, then no one else is really going to touch the ball. And like I said last week, it'd be great to see him and Hayes and probably trying to speed up the tempo a little bit. I thought they played a lot faster at the blitz, so it's interesting to see them playing such a slow pace at the moment. And I don't know if that's them still trying to introduce their new players or what it is, but you know, like with a young team, you really got to probably push the tempo a little bit and try your luck. And if you're just going to walk the ball up against way more experienced defenses, you're going to be, you know, fighting a losing battle, I think, because the defenses are just too smart, and their systems will be, and obviously with Zico knowing Tim, he probably knows his sets pretty well. So I think if they can get into a bit more transition, attack the rim and get some kickouts, they'll be much more effective.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But in saying that, the Hawks are actually doing a great job of slowing them down. They know the ball is probably going to go to Deshaun Knight, so they're almost double teaming him. When he gets it, there's virtually two guys on him, so he has to give it up straight away. But to me, if you can get Hayes Walker on at the same time, or even one of the other guards, if you get it in, get a quick pass straight away, then they're past that initial defense, and then they can create a 3-on-2 and get some offense that way. So, yeah, they did that a couple of times, but I agree with you. If you want to, you know, their strength potentially to get some offense going is to push it, to make defenses have to work on their trans defense and stop them. And, you know, there's some very athletic players on the Go Media Jets team, and it's just a matter of utilising them.
Well, this will be interesting too, starting with Iverson again, played 3 minutes in the first half and picked up 3 quick fouls, so hopefully he can stay on the floor a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's one of those classics, you know, with a new import. He's obviously struggling to get used to the New Zealand style and refereeing. And, you know, I've seen him with great hustle, but he's just managed to just get that body in the way in the wrong place, just to pick up those silly little niggly fouls that can happen. Right, as the Taylor Hawks start the second half, once again straight into their routine as Ethan Rusbatch makes a classy move, switches to the left hand and makes an easy layup. There we go, they've got another option there, and Hayes Walker immediately gets the pass out to Karan Iverson, who reckons he got fouled and doesn't get a call, but a great pass by the young fella Hayes Walker. 1-2 bounce pass, head up, and gets the easy basket. So let's hope the Jets can start doing that a bit more and get their offense going. Oh, great hands by Deshaun Knight. Once again, Hayes Walker with the great pass. Iverson for an easy layup. And this looks better from the Jets.
I hate to say I told you so, Kent, but I can see Hayes Walker out there starting with Deshaun and 2 transition baskets.
Yeah, the young fella, head up as Deshaun Knight picks up a steal, gets it out to Brandon Lucas, and he switches to the left hand and makes an easy layup as the crowd starts getting into this game.
Make that 3 easy baskets.
Thanks. Right, let's see the class of inexperience of Jared Kinney slows the game down, gets through, passes out to Oscar Foreman. He's had a terrible night from the 3-point line, and That's 3 or 4 in a row he's missed, and maybe that's the strategy. Leave the great three-point shooter wide open.
Yes.
And he just can't get into his rhythm. Here's Karan Iverson does the old throw the ball on the back because the defender's not watching trick. Gets the ball back as Hayes Walker seems to get this team flowing a bit better with just his presence. Right, Karan Iverson, he's wanting to take this, gets these two guys off the dribble. Good dive by McRae, just misses the rebound, which gives Dion Prush the opportunity to fast break it, and his experience just slows it down, gets it into Brandt, takes it against the young fella in the post. What a lovely fake, but Karan Iverson didn't get called for the foul then, gets a block and gets the ball back for the Go Media Jets. Well, they're looking to loosen up a bit, I think, the Go Media Jets, but Deshaun Knight, someone's got to be open. As Karan Iverson wide open for three, leaves that with an air ball. That was a tired shot. Not quite in rhythm as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that position. Hayes had the ball in front and just gave it back to Iverson, and then it turned into a two-man game at the top that really created nothing.
Right, as the Hawks, Taylor Hawks get back into it. Lovely little backdoor play, and Russ Batch again with the left hand with a nice easy layup.
And this is where our young guys, or the Jets, Go Media Jets young guys, need to be a bit better. Hayes has been caught on 2 screens. The first one by Ethan Rusbatch at the very first play, and that play there. They have to be better defensively to stay on the floor.
Oh, jeepers creepers, there's no foul called there. Brandt's holding his nether regions and got hit there, and would have thought that would have been one call or the other. But as the refs let it go, Oscar Foreman wide open and still can't make one, as the box out was a bit too aggressive from Brandon Lucas. That's probably all he could do to stop the stick back from Brandt, who's got size and height on Lucas. Gets fouled and ball will be baseline. Right, as Big Ben Valentine enters the fray, comes in for Iverson. Not a bad sub, making sure Iverson doesn't pick up a quick 4th foul. Started off this quarter pretty well, both defensively and taking a lovely little play there for Russ Batch, who gets his own rebound, then can't make the layup. But if he made that first one, it was certainly a nice little sneaky play, catching the younger players off guard from the Jets, as for some reason Ben Valentine has come back off and Iverson's come back on.
I think Coach McTamney just got a word in his ear telling him what he needed him to do, and then chucked him straight back out there.
And if that's, oh, look at that drive, dish off, not bad from the big fella, as Deshaun Knight, probably with the, after initially having a bit of a play, that's not too bad. When the offense had broken down, as Jared Kenny, strength, he was actually going to pass it there, but once he heard the whistle, he went and shot it, even though he airballed it. That's a very experienced player, so now he should get 2. No, he doesn't. The call was before the shot or the continuation, so the ball goes to the side for the Taylor Hawks as Ethan Rusbatch starts it out, gets out to Foreman, gets to Prewster, who hasn't really looked to score, but we certainly know he can and could, as Jared Kenny pops out to the corner and nails a 3. Very nice shot and a nice little set run by the Hawks.
Jared not really known for his 3-point shooting, but again is one of those players that's really worked on it, and it's an important part of his game that he needs to have.
And a great pass by Knight over to Hayes Walker, who gets his first 3 of his career in the Sal's NBL. Good to see the young fella, and he's starting to play with a bit more confidence. Just those defensive switch there. He's got to find his man, because he's got a big mismatch with Ethan Rusbatch, who just cleared him out of the way, as Karan Iverson brings the ball up, settles it down, gets it out to Knight. He's just going to take Oscar Foreman one-on-one, seeing the mismatch. Gets it out to Iverson. A bit higher arc. Big fella McRae is boxed out nicely by Brandt. Probably just needed to hustle a bit, try and use his size to push Brandt, but Brandt, being a very strong player, sealed him quite nicely. As he sealed Iverson, gets the rebound and nice pivot and sticks it back up. Very classy player, Brandt.
Yeah, just a solid big guy that does his work, and bit of a no-nonsense guy and obviously uses his physical strengths really, really well.
Certainly a type of guy that you love having on your team.
Yeah, you can't teach height, Kent, so and size, so uses it very well. He's got great footwork, great touch.
Right, there's a nice fadeaway jumper from Deshaun Knight again. Keeps the Jets within 15 points. So he's having a very good quarter here, catching up a bit. Brandt just taking the young fella in there. Always hit the wall, but those pivot steps certainly an advantage. But he managed to get a tip out for Kenny to go get the offensive rebound. Some of the Jets players standing a bit flat-footed. And Kenny gets the rebound, takes it inside very aggressively. Karan Iverson smartly didn't go for that one. And what looks to be a technical foul. Some words being said by
Jared Kenny, it looks, not very happy with the amount of contact underneath the hoop there.
Oh, the no-nonsense ref call there. Was it a tee or was it just a foul?
I don't know what he's doing here.
I thought he did the old action for the tee. Maybe it was a timeout.
Yep, but the referees are not sure either, so...
consultation. Sure we'll figure it out pretty soon. Right, while they're sorting that out, there's 4 minutes 24 to go in the game. Jets have made a little bit of a comeback. It's good to see them playing a lot better, a lot more free-flowing, and looking a bit more comfortable with their offense. And I think a big reason for that has been Hayes Walker helping out with the guard duties to Deshaun Knight. He's nailed a three himself, showing a bit of confidence. And yes, I think we were right the first time. It was a technical foul, so Deshaun Knight's going to shoot one. And the Jets should get the ball back at halfway. Right, he nails that. And as Jack McKinlay comes back in for the Go Media Jets. So we've got Callum McRae, Hayes Walker, first year. This is their first year out of high school. We've got Jake McKinley, who's still at high school, and two imports, Deshaun Knight and Karan Iverson. So very inexperienced, but playing well. And it's good to see that. Right, Hayes Walker wide open for three. Gets run at by Russ Batch. Misses. Rebound by Iverson. Gets it back to Hayes Walker, who's now running the pick and roll. Running out of time, 4 seconds as Iverson takes one big, huge dribble to his right, and Hiram Harris has to body check him and gets called for the foul. And unfortunately, it was only 3 seconds to go on the shot clock, and the Jets will get the ball back with a reset of 14 seconds. What are your thoughts on that rule? I know it came in a few years ago. Normally that would be a reset to 24, but now just to 14.
Yeah, it speeds the game up a lot, and I'm quite surprised, you know, leagues like the NBA haven't followed suit with the FIBA thing, especially as high scoring and high paced as the NBA likes to be. But I'm sure they'll follow in the next few years for sure, because the rest of the world is starting to catch up with the Americans, even though they're obviously way more athletic and way more talented than other countries, but they're definitely changing parts of their game.
Right, we just had Dion Preuster show his class with a great bit of defence, just putting enough pressure for the Jets to turn it over on that out of bounds. As we've got Everard Bartlett, and Newton's back in the game, the three-point shooter, going to the post at the moment. Oh, great steal by Hayes Walker. He's going to attack, and the young fella gets blocked by Preuster with a great athletic play.
Yeah,
well,
that's just experience, Kent. Like Dion was waiting for him to take that shot, and Hayes didn't create any contact in the transition, so just an easy block, really.
Oh, steal by Theo Johnson. He'll
This
just
could be
attack. Oh, he's bounced it off his foot. The old classic.
I think he was lining up a dunk there, I think. Got a little bit too far ahead of himself.
Yeah, I think, look, I'm happy with the way Hayes attacked that. And as you said, just experience, you know, he'll be the better for it next time. He's going to have to come up with something different, whether it look for a pass, pull out a little jump shot, or, as you said, make a little bit of contact and then pull that left arm, bring it away and make that sort of scoopy layup. Right, straight out to Newton looking for the three. That's great defence by the 7-footer. Good to see that footwork as the Jets ice this pick and roll. Great help by McRae. And then they just lack the last few seconds of that 24-second shot clock. they just lapse on what was a good sequence of defence and allows Hiram Harris just to attack with no help and make an easy layup. Right, Deshaun Knight, notably because of his size, has that step back. Has made a few, but also struggled, and that's, oh, jeepers, that's going to be his fourth.
Yep.
This experience from Russ Batch attacking the body of Karan Iverson, and he will pick up his fourth foul, and I'm sure will be substituted now.
Yeah, talking with the assistant coach during the week, Morgan Haskell, I know the game plan for the Hawks was they knew that the imports for the Go Media Jets were going to take quite a few shots, and their sort of philosophy was just to not double team as much and play good defense as they can, get a hand up and contest everything. So it looks like that is exactly what they are doing. And what have we seen here?
Well, Deshaun Knight, even though he's top scoring for the Jets with 18 points, he's 7 of 16, not quite 50%, so not too bad, or much better than what he did against the Taranaki Airs. But yeah, the percentages all round not so great, but a lot better, and a lot better showing so far from the Jets, especially this quarter after they struggled pretty much with 20 odd points in the first half, and they're already up to 42 so far in this quarter.
Yeah, 50% is pretty good percentage. You wouldn't mind that. If your whole team shot 50%, you'd be very pleased.
Right, I think the Hawks are certainly taking advantage of their few mismatches where young Hayes Walker's been having to mark Russ Batch, and Russ Batch's size, strength, just out-muscles Hayes Walker, and he's now leading all scores for the Hawks with 15 points, mostly playing inside and layups, and he's 6 of 10, shooting 60%, so you'd be looking to get his season off to a good start now. I know he struggled a bit in the first game against Southland initially, and he'll be feeling more comfortable here at the Hawks now. Right, 2.5 minutes to go, 42-61, and let's see what the Jets can get going now. They're certainly working on it's a bit of a project for them, their young guys. It's Theo Johnson back in the fray, takes a jump shot, misses. And even though we haven't talked about him too much, just little things here. Prewster with a good rebound. He's had a steal here and just a few scores, but he hasn't had to score. It's good to see some of the other players get in there. And Prewster again attacking. Lovely pass to Newton, who makes a lovely little left-hand jumper as Hiram Harris gets a quick steal off the out of bounds. And Prewster misses the three, and that could have really set them off to get going again.
Yeah, like great steal there by Hiram. Obviously used to doing that with Coach Jeff Green from the Two Cheap Cars Waitakere Rangers. Obviously well known with their full court press as he played for Fraser back in the day.
Right, Skeens back on. Like to see a bit more of him. Obviously just getting in yesterday from, I'm not sure if he was coming in from Finland or from the States, but he has been playing professionally in Finland. As Newton misses a three, Brandon Lucas gets the rebound and brings the ball up the court. It's actually good to see, and lovely take. Nobody picked him up, going coast to coast.
Yeah, I like that aggressive move, getting to the basket.
Right, that'll get his confidence up too. It does pay with a lot of teams to actually have some experienced imports, who have been in our league, have played in our league and know what it's like, and whereas with the Jets and some other teams, when they get some brand new imports, and I know the Jets imports are quite young as well, just still getting used to things. As now it's Theo Johnson's turn to attack, and a great bit of defense. Skeen managed to get his arm all ball and knocks the ball out of bounds. Right, Hayes Walker comes in for the Go Media Jets and subs Deshaun Knight out, which gives him a rest. It'll be good to see how Hayes goes by himself now, especially when you've got an experienced player like Dean Prewster marking you. Right, Theo Johnson attacks the hoop. Good to see. Oh, nice pass to Big Ben Valentine, who misses the layup. Geez, that was in and out. Big Callum McRae gets the rebound and gets fouled, and he'll be shooting too. It was good to see the two big boys from the Go Media Jets attacking the offensive rebounds and getting some production from it.
I think we might need to go check the level of that rim, Kent. I think Big Benny Valentine thought that was going to roll in and started running back on defence.
Being the old guy that he is, I'm sure I would have done the same too. Oh, that's an easy layup. Let's just get back on defence so they don't get a layup.
Yeah, but like you said, a good job by Callum staying with it and getting the extra offensive rebound.
And that's what the young guy needs to learn, especially now. I'm sure at 7 foot, playing at high school was probably a little bit easier at times, where you just had to move in there and didn't have to jump much, get the rebound, stick it back in. But he now needs to learn how to work, push, use his body, get in there like he did that time, and give himself a chance.
Yeah, I think the time that he had with Nick Horvath when he was with us back 2015, banging, that was pretty much the only big competition that he had. So he has learned from it, but it's different practice to game. So he's doing that now.
How old was he back then?
Was he 18 now? So it's probably 14, 15.
Yeah, you forget how old he was. Right, that was a great drive by Hiram Harris, and goes to the left hand and makes a lovely layup to put the score back out to 20 points. 65-45.
Yeah, back then Callum, he moved so much better than what he did back then too. You know, we had our trainers working a lot with him, just running, trying to get his knees up. When I went away to the States and came back, I was so pleasantly surprised with how he was moving, his mobility, which has obviously helped him now, and hopefully that hip injury hasn't set him back too much.
Yeah, well, he did have an operation late last year to get that sorted, as Hiram Harris misses the free throw. As Big Bennett gets the quick outlet out to Hayes Walker, looks to be blocked by Hiram Harris for the three. That's all Hayes could have done, because they didn't have much time to finish off that quarter, and a great athletic play by Harris. Just got a tip finger on it, and that was enough to divert the ball. Right, that is the end of the third quarter, and the score is 65-45. And once again, it's sort of one of those sort of strange games, understandably, as the Go Media Jets don't have that sort of experience, or aren't an experienced teams, but they're sort of sticking in, and you're not too displeased with their effort. And it's going to be expected all season. You just hope they're going to improve and get a bit closer near the end of the season.
Yeah, I think the takeaways for them is obviously the big lead that was got by the Taylor Hawks pretty early. It hasn't really extended that much, so hopefully during the film, during the week, they'll be showing the parts where they compete with them, where it's like 11-11 and 13-13, and the score's not ballooning out, and they're staying and fighting. That's a huge thing to show some young guys. Another thing to show them would be some effort plays. Callum getting on the floor and then getting an offensive rebound. They're the things that you want to show these young guys and try and emphasise for them, not necessarily the shots that they're missing or the breakdowns that they're making on offence.
And it's good to see the Hawks. They've really spread their time around all over the place. They've really given Russ Batch a good go. He's leading the minutes played at 21. And, they've really let the likes of Nick Fee, Skeen, the new import, who hasn't played here before, and in the last quarter there, Hiram Harris, Newton's played a little bit. He played a lot more in their first game. But it's to their advantage to get their bench players more confidence as they come out, and yet they've got such a good depth that they can come out with Kareem Johnson, who's been playing in our league for years, is now can play as a Kiwi, and Everard Bartlett, who's played for New Zealand, classy player. We haven't seen him have to do too much, but isn't that great when an experienced player can let the rest of his team, especially young guys, develop and get their confidence and have trust in them to do well for them.
Yeah, exactly. It's surprising to see Everard's only taking 2 shots in a game like this, coming off the bench, I guess, so he's fit, finding his role as well.
Well, that's an interesting call. I thought the big fella got pushed a lot as he went for that rebound, but no call. He went up in his cylinder, got bang-bodied, and as he was trying to grab it, was pushed out of bounds. So I can see his frustration there as Nick Fee brings the ball up for the Taylor Hawks. They're trying to run the play. There's Kareem Johnson, just a classy, no-nonsense player. Lovely curl by Hiram Harris, but Brandon Lucas gets the steal, attacks the wing. He's going to go all the way with a Euro step. Oh, lovely play, but just can't finish off with the left hand. Ooh, Iverson could have got picked up for his fifth there. I think he knows it too. He's actually smiling as he knocks the ball out of bounds. And Newton take the ball past to Fee. And the Taylor Hawks, good chance for them to get into their offense. So hands off to Bartlett, off to Kareem Johnson, who can be a very good threat there as he just hands off to Bartlett, and as we're talking about, hasn't had many shots, but nails that three quite comfortably.
Everard's one of those players, he might not touch the ball for the whole game and then he'll knock down the game winner. He's one of those real frustrating ones that doesn't need much time or many touches.
That was a lovely move. Jeez, Karan. Iverson showed his speed there to get past Newton, use his body and make the layup. Good to see from the Go Media Jets.
Yeah, like you said before, though, I think the Taylor Hawks here have got a great chance here to give these guys some extra minutes that they might not have got. With Nick Fee running the point and Mitch Newton getting a bit more time, and obviously like Kareem giving these big fellas a little bit of a rest, getting those old legs moving.
Right, here come the Hawks, obviously just running their set plays. Bartlett, look at the class of the man. Oh, tried a bit too much, but showy, but great effort by Harris to pass that to Johnson, who goes in for the easy layup. Here come the Jets with a bit of a fast break, and woo! There's an athletic play. Brandon Lucas with a lovely one-hand dunk.
I really think that's really important for the Go Media Jets, is to try and pick up the tempo in games moving forward, because they look pretty good in transition and it gets the crowd going, gives a bit of excitement to the game.
This could be the big 7-footer with a block. The ball goes loose and Brandon Lucas gets a steal, takes the gamble. There's a foul there by Nick Fee, but it's not called. There was an alley-oop play by Hayes Walker, and Karan Iverson just misses to get that. But was there a call earlier? I'm not quite sure. Just the ball went out of bounds.
Just an out of bounds, think, on the missed dunk. But that's three plays we've probably seen, two from the Jets and one from the Hawks, where it's kind of been a $1 million move and a 10-cent finish.
I've been impressed with Hiram Harris there, just twice attacking the hoop and passing to Johnson. Johnson scored once and then missed on the second. But the young fellow certainly got some class. He's in there again. Undersized big guy, but look at him just attacking the hoop. Little right-hand hook and lays it in. Very impressive play by Harris. Here come back the Go Media Jets. Oh, there's that huge step back. Oh, it's a tough shot.
Yeah, that's pretty good defense by Nick Fee. You can't really do much about that shot. Like you said, a huge step back.
Right, Fee against the 7-footer. Callum McRae gets it out to Newton, who attacks it, and he's done the old bounce it off the foot trick tonight. That's about the third time tonight, and poor old Newton's a bit despondent on that. Should have done a bit better, and he knows it.
Yeah, Fee, like you say, been an annoyance here for Deshaun, picking him up full court.
Ooh, bit of a move. Well, all I can say, even though it's a 20-point game to the Hawks, it's starting to get a bit exciting actually right now.
Yeah. A couple of nice dunks, a couple of good transition buckets.
Oh, bit of thing there, and then, ooh. Me personally would have just gone and done a sort of little hitch for a layup, but Karan Iverson's keen. He knows he might be out of the game with a foul. He went for the dunk. Didn't quite get it, gets fouled, and will shoot two. At least that was exciting.
I think Kareem's thinking his lucky stars that Iverson took off from a little bit too far away from the basket because he was about to get posted.
I think, I don't know if Iverson might be a little bit tired here, but a lazy free throw. Missed the first and makes the second. I'm guessing Karan Iverson's just, oh no, he is going to come off. I thought Coach McTammy might have done the old, and you just play for as long as you last. Right, Nick Fee comes in, steadies the ship for the Hawks, brings it up, that's pace. There's a little handoff to Hiram Harris, who gives it straight back, and Nick Fee does a nice little floater. Didn't use the backboard, but gets it in anyway. And once again, just a smart play by Harris to get it straight back to Fee to give him the chance to attack that hoop. And, you know, once again, a couple of Kiwi players playing really well.
There you go, Callum.
Callum McRae, the 7-footer with a 3. Now, I know Coach McTammany is very keen for him to develop that. And, you know, what a great opportunity as a young fella to be told by your coach, I don't mind you shooting a 3, because he's going to need to be able to do that if he wants to go further in his career, whether it be in New Zealand or overseas.
It'll be interesting when he gets to Riverside if that's his game, because I know it's probably looking forward, you know, internationally, playing for the Tall Blacks in the future. He definitely needs to be able to have that in his game.
Right, there's no call on the shot there by Newton on Deshaun Knight, and both have come out a bit injured from that, so it's either the referees are ball watching or just thought it was a no call. There's great hustle by young 17-year-old Jake McKinley against the experienced Kareem Johnson, and they couldn't get the ball to Kareem, and now he's got position on Jake, and what a classy crossover by Everett Bartlett, and Jake McKinley comes out to help, and Brandon Lucas with an athletic play to try to do a bit too much rather than probably just doing a stop.
I think a couple of years ago that would have been a dunk. But Kareem just lays it in nicely.
Right, we've got a timeout just to slow that game down a bit. But yeah, Lucas had the one-on-one. He probably just went a bit too athletic, a bit too out of control, and tried to do a big swoopy layup, which completely missed, and just probably know to slow himself down, make sure of the layup, or draw the defender and then pass off, because he did have help there. But once again, the class of the hooks down the other end, they took their time, attack. He drew the defender, passed to Kareem Johnson, and then it's pretty much money from 2 feet from the hoop. And as you said, normally that would be a huge dunk. Showing his age, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that, even 2 years ago, that would have been a bit of a tomahawk dunk going down on somebody's head. Like you say, I think Brandon Lucas needed to really... Maybe Hayes could have kept it in his hand a little bit longer, made the defence commit a bit more, because it ended up being a sort of a 1-on-2 defensively. Made a bit of a tougher shot. Maybe he could have slowed down, but yeah, a little bit out of control with that layup for sure.
Right, just going to some scores here. We've got for the Go Media Jets, Deshaun Knight leading with 20 points, followed by Brandon Lucas 12. Karan Iverson's got 10, even though he's played 12, almost 13 minutes, and a little bit of support by some of the Kiwis through that, and the Taylor Hawks, with most of their starting 5 now sitting on the bench. It's been spread all the way through, though. Rothbach top scoring with 16, Angus Brandt 11 points, and most of those were in the first half, and very well spread with Bartlett 3, Kareem Johnson 6, Nick Fee 5, Mitchell Newton 8, Hiram Harris 8, and Jamie Skeen 9, and even he hasn't been playing huge amount of minutes. As Karan Iverson attacks the hoop and starting to get in his rhythm, and it's probably, even though with 5 minutes to go, we could probably say the Hawks should comfortably win this. It gives the few of the Jets imports and new players to feel a bit more at home or comfortable in playing. As McGovern passes it out to Newton, attacks the hoop, lovely pass to Harris, who makes another lovely pass to Kareem Johnson, who misses or is fouled trying to make the layup. Once again, just the class of the Kiwi players there. McGovern to Harris, and Harris finishing off a lovely pass to Johnson.
Yeah, Hiram Harris looks to be a very intelligent player, very steady under pressure, which you can probably expect with how much yelling he would have had at with Coach Green up there at Fraser High School. But yeah, composed, going to the basket, doesn't panic, and has good court vision.
Certainly doesn't look out of place in this game and in the Cells NBL. Right, as Kareem Johnson steps to the line. Misses his first. I don't mind putting the commentator curse on him for this one, as he should make the second one, and doesn't. But not boxed out. Newton gets the offensive board, backs in Iverson, who gets pushed in the back as he goes for a rebound, and then Deshaun Knight tries to suck a foul, is not called, and brings it up, almost loses it. Let's see, this is not really a huge offence, but finally gets it out to Lucas, who gets body position. That was much better. Got 2 feet down, went up with some balance rather than going for the big athletic play with one leg, which he missed a bit earlier. Right, Nick Fee settles it down, and the Hawks once again showing their class, running their offence. Lovely play. Hiram Harris tacks the hoop again, goes for the layup and is fouled by Lucas.
Yeah, I think Brandon just used his experience and strength there on the last possession to get an easy bucket, quite frankly, and this is good to see. Rangamati here, he's only played like maybe, 5 minutes?
Yes, only 2.5 minutes by the stats.
Geez, 2.5 minutes. So I thought he was one of the standouts last week on the last game against Augusta Mountaineers. So good to see him on now. Let's see what he can do.
Right, Harris makes the free throw as the Jets now come down. And Deshaun Knight takes the hoop, bit out of control, gets fouled and should go to the line. Yes, he will. Oh, no, he won't. So it's ball to the side as young Jake McKinley gives the ball to Knight, who then attacks the hoop. He's got a bit of daylight. Great defense by Nick Fee. In-your-face defense, and somehow Deshaun Knight makes the 2 and extends his point tally to 22. But the Hawks still reasonably comfortable. That's an interesting call. All of a sudden, Harris draws a bit of contact that I know Knight's been trying to do all night, and he gets the call, and Knight hasn't been able to get that call very often at all. So frustration from Deshaun Knight.
Isn't that funny that the little guys get the foul for pushing?
Yeah. What are you trying to say, Darren?
No, I don't know.
Right, misses the first. Well, you could say the Jets have fought back here, even though the Hawks have played majority of their bench for this quarter, as they should. But once again, valuable chance for the Hawks to work on their players as Mita from the corner nails the 3 and brings the score to within 14 points with 3 minutes 21. I tell you what, if the Jets could nail a couple of quick more threes, all of a sudden this game gets close, and you know, Coach Coronel would be a bit disappointed if that happened, but he's got total confidence as Newton makes a lovely jump hook as Karan Iverson shows his length and attacks the hoop and gets the crowd involved.
Yeah, again, the speed of the ball coming up the court, you know, like there was no hesitation. He had an easy sort of in and out move there on Kareem, and like we said earlier, he's really got the advantage on the big guys that are trying to guard him with their foot speed against his ball handling skills.
Right, Karan Iverson goes to the line. Makes it, brings the score within 12 points with 3 minutes to go, and Coach Coronel very confident, doesn't look worried at all at the end of his bench. He's just letting these boys do their thing, which shows very good coaching ability. As Newton shoots a 3, misses. Great defense by Iverson. As Walker grabs the rebound, gets the ball back to Knight, and he's going to attack. And tell you what, if he can get open and get someone for a wide open shot or a 3, as Hayes Walker gets out to Mita and unluckily misses the 3. If that went in, it would have been interesting.
I think Iverson was open on the one more pass there that probably should have been sent.
It goes out to Knight. Lovely pass from Walker. And another missed 3. He was open enough. It was a good shot. Just not quite doing it. If they make a couple of those, that'd be right into this game, even though I've got to say, you know, the Hawks have, to a certain extent, the way they've subbed and not used their main guys, as Newton, jeepers, just casually steps back and keeps that distance away from the Go Media Jets, as Iverson managed to sell that one. but that's what he has to do because he hasn't been getting many calls or what he feels through that. It almost looked like a pretty good steal from Johnson there, and he's shaking his head and he can't believe it, but it's typical Kareem Johnson. Doesn't look like much phases him.
No, he won't be bothered.
Just have a little smirk in his face, a smile on his face, and just get on with his job. Right, there's Iverson, who did a good dive there to make sure that the refs knew that he got fouled. Comes to the line.
Oscar Oswald back into the game for the last couple of minutes.
It'll be interesting. He hasn't played much this game, and let's see if he can get his confidence and just if he gets open to take that shot. Right, Karan Iverson makes his second free throw.
Big Cal takes a break. Big Benny Valentine in for the last couple of minutes as well. See how many fouls he can pick up right now.
Right, McGovern gets the ball to Harris, who's not scared to attack, and makes a lovely layup past Oscar Oswald, who now brings the ball up the court. Getting it back up to Iverson, who's now going to have to be defended. Makes a great kick to Ben Valentine for three, and Big Ben nails it.
Oh, we want the fist pump, Benny. Give us the fist pump.
Right, and the goes back to 12 points here. Now all the Hawks have to do is play controlled, run their offense, do their thing, and run out this game. But if there's all it needs is a couple of plays, a couple of threes, and then it's all on. As Kareem Johnson has a big mismatch against Hayes Walker, and we've got a call potentially away from the ball. And we also have a timeout. It looks to be for the Jets with 1 minute 17 points. Well, even though it's a fairly close game, we certainly haven't seen the best from the Hawks. Obviously, they haven't played their top players, their starting five. They've only had very limited minutes, scored quite a few points. So, as we've said before, it's been a great chance for the Hawks to see how their bench can handle these situations. They've given the Jets a chance to catch up, and now these sort of situations, you know, if some of your top players are fouled out or in foul trouble, the Hawks will have a chance later on in the season to know that they've got confidence in their bench players to be put in pressure situations and hopefully, you know, finish off games for them. But still, I've seen games with a minute 17 or less to go, teams who have been down by 10, 12 points come back and either win it or make it a very exciting, close game. Right, as the Go Media Jets come back out of their timeout, let's see what Coach McTemney's got planned for them coming out of this out-of-bounds play. Right, Hawks are still sticking with him, and then Deshaun Knight was falling asleep there and gave the Hawks an easy layup to Nick Fee, a smart play. Right, as Karan Iverson gets the ball back to Deshaun Knight, who's setting a play, which I assume they've talked about coming out of the thing. He crosses over, gets it to Iverson, who gives up the three, which is probably not a bad option. Tacks the hoop and scores two. Even though the game's probably out of reach, he's excited about that, and probably more for motivation for himself, especially for games in the future, as Harris gets the ball back to Fee to Newton. No real huge pressure, even though the Jets are down here, though Hayes Walker tries to get going. That looked like a bit of a travel, and a good attack by Harris, as Newton now tries to back down and pulls up for a three. Looked very nice, but missed it. With 30 seconds to go. Deshaun Knight attacks the hoop, gets it out to Hayes Walker, who does a big step back, almost makes the three. Big Ben Valentine only gets one hand to it, knocks it out of bounds, and the Hawks will have the ball. Now, even though this game's pretty much over, I'd like to see the Jets come out and put a bit of pressure where they almost are. But Knight looks a bit tired to actually do that, and Nick Fee sort of almost easily gets past him, but smart enough to run the play as per normal. Harris, who's been actually very good in there, gets the ball out to Newton, comfortably on balance and makes that three and keeps their comfortable lead out there, and pretty much call this over as the Hawks still put the pressure on, and Nick Fee managed to just deflect it enough, and the ball touches off Hayes Walker's hands and goes out of bounds. Another bit more experience where Hayes needs to actually probably run towards the ball more rather than wait for it. As the last 3 seconds run off, the Hawks just run it off. And we have another game here at the Sal's NBL. A comfortable win for the Taylor Hawks, 89 against the Go Media Jets, 63. And just going through some of the stats for the game, the high score for the Jets was Deshaun Knight. He scored 22 points, 9 of 22, shooting around 40%, followed by Karan Iverson, who only played 18 minutes, scored 18 points, 7 of 14, so a much better effort from him. Managed to stay on the court a bit longer than last Sunday's game against the Augusta Taranaki Mountaineers, shooting 50% and getting the flow of the game a bit better here in New Zealand. Brandon Lucas, the other import for the Go Media Jets, had 14.6 of 12. And the Jets, even though it was 28 of 72 at 38%, was much better in the weekend. And of course, the classy Hawks, even though it was a close game in terms of the points, were very comfortable and scored a good win. Right, I think we've just about ready for Darren down there to talk to the man of the match.
Okay, here with Ethan Rusbatch. Very good game for you guys. You must have been pleased with your effort. MVP award goes to you today with 16.7 rebounds and efficiency rating of 16. You must have been happy with your performance.
Yeah, I mean, we had a pretty good week preparing for this. Been on the bus traveling all day, so we were pretty eager to get out here. So we just came out running, and the result was in our favour by the end of the game.
So you seem to spread your minutes pretty evenly over a lot of players. Coach will be happy with being able to get everybody in. He had a pretty easy lead going throughout most of the game. What's the work on for the next game?
Just doing what we know we can do well, playing together as a team, and just staying on top of everything from the get-go, coming out hard.
Awesome. Congratulations, MVP of the night. Who are we going to donate that to this week?
SPCA.
Awesome. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
Right. Well, we've had a, at times, very exciting game here at the Fly Palmy Arena. With, once again, a great win for the Hawks. They're 2 from 2. They are a definite finalist top 4 team. A chance for them to play a lot of their bench against the Jets. They've beaten the Southland Sharks in the first game, and it'll be interesting to see how they continue to progress, but they've got some very classy players and showed that. Go Media Jets, we know it's going to be like this all season. Very young team, still trying to search and find their way getting back into this NBL, but a much better effort. There was certainly a lot longer and better patches for them to get going and score and work well from there. Right, we're just getting another interview, and we've got Darren Larson down there with Big Ben Valentine.
Okay, here with Ben Valentine of the Go Media Jets. A much better performance this week. How'd you guys feel you went?
I think late in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, we can really hold our heads high with our performance. We've got to bring that from the start. We can't afford to dig ourselves a big hole like we did again today, because it's tough to dig out of it.
Yeah, you started off pretty slow. Obviously, shots weren't going down, but like you said, you held the score to about 15 to 20 throughout the rest of the game. So positive signs. The imports started to play a little bit better. Obviously, the shots are starting to go down. The young fellas, how do you think they went today?
I think Callum McRae had a heck of a game. He's a big young man, and he's working his tail off in the middle there. And we can take a lot of how he's been playing and look at ourselves and, you know, really lift our effort. I mean, the young guys, for 17, 18, 19-year-olds that have never played in this league before and coming up against Tall Blacks and Boomers and seasoned professionals, you know, they're gaining a lot from this. And we've noticed over the last, 3 weeks since the Blitz, the game against Taranaki before that they've really lifted their intensity, lifted their effort, and, you couple that with the enthusiasm of young men, it's exciting, and they will continue to grow.
Awesome. And next game for you, what are you looking to do, and who we got next?
I believe we've got Southland next Thursday, if memory serves me correctly. Look, we've just got to keep doing what we do, and getting used to the guys that have just come in, and utilising their strengths, and playing together as a team, and just keep lifting our physicality and lifting our effort and intensity for 40 minutes.
Awesome. Well, good luck for that, and look to see you on the sideline again. I'll be on the sideline, you'll be on the court. Congratulations and good luck.
All right, cheers, mate.
Right, thanks, Darren, and some very good and interesting words from Big Ben Valentine. So it is very true that having a very young team, and it's going to be a very big project for the Jets, and it could be another 2-3 years before, if these guys keep playing and keep developing and working hard on their game, they're going to be very good. Right, we've got some games, up-and-coming games. We've got the Wheelchair Motor Company Rams playing on Friday versus the SIT Zero Fees Sharks at Cal Stadium. Then on Sunday we have the Two Cheap Cars Waitakere Rangers playing the Cygnus Saints at the Trust Arena in Henderson in Auckland. Following that, the Thursday game, which Big Ben Valentine mentioned before, the SIT Zero Fees Sharks will be playing the Go Media Jets down at the ILT Stadium in Southland in Chicago. And then on Friday following that, we have the Cygnus Saints versus the Taylor Hawks, which I'm really looking forward to watch. That will be a big game, and that's at the TSB Arena, Wellington. Right, we're just about nearing the end, and once again we'd like to thank our sponsors and partners, Sal's with their authentic New York pizzas, with the Sal's NBL. We also have the TAB, great sponsorship and partnership with them, and also our suppliers Molten, who provide the Molten basketballs. So thanks very much for joining us tonight. It's Kent Murray and Darren Larson signing off here for the Sal's NBL on live stream. Thanks very much and good night.